And this goes back to another question several people had about LLCs
Okay.
versus sole proprietorships. Both of them are flow-through entities. Anything you make as a sole proprietor or as a limited liability company goes right onto your individual 1040. But the difference is an LLC is a separate entity, and you can set up a separate bank account for your LLC. You can set up a separate Venmo account for your LLC. I would recommend that to anybody who has very much cash payments, just because it's easier to segregate professional from business income. And also, I mean, there are other advantages to LLC, some liability protection if something happens to the company. Some people think it's really helpful as far as your status in the community as an artist. You know, John Smith versus John Smith LLC. People might look at that and say, well, this guy's more serious. He's done doing this more. So, I mean, back to Venmo, if your LLC has a Venmo account, you're not going to have any of those personal reimbursements on it.
So again, we come back to the key is to track everything as it comes in.
Yeah. You can ask the IRS to look at your LLC as a subchapter S Corp. And the advantage to that, and somebody else asked a question there about as an LLC, could they pay themselves a salary? And you can't pay yourself salary as an LLC, but that's the whole point of the S Corp, is because you can then, you have to take a reasonable salary. Let's say you make $100,000 a year of income. You can pay yourself 50, and you have to pay Social Security taxes on the 50. The other 50, you can leave in the subchapter S until the end of the year and take a distribution, no Social Security tax. So I mean, that's an advantage, saves you some money there. The dark side is when you retire, you will have paid in less Social Security tax, your benefit will be less. But most people don't give a shit about when they retire. All they care about is, saving the money now. So I mean, if you want the S Corp, that's the key. Is the LLC people, they just file a form with the IRS. There's no additional paperwork, no cost. Say, treat me as a subchapter S, and then that's the key difference, is it can save on Social Security taxes. I would recommend either the LLC or the S Corp if this is a serious business you're in. If you're just playing around a little bit, thinking you're going to do it, I think the sole proprietorship is probably fine. You can just treat it as your personal income. But the more serious you are, the more money you're making, the more it makes sense to have this separate business entity, either an LLC or the S Corp.